speaker is Matthew Schwartz. He'll be followed by Marcia Cravens.
Good afternoon, commissioners and staff. Matthew Schwartz, representing South Florida Wildlands Alliance Association. Excuse me, I just heard something else. As you know, I'm involved in two pieces of litigation right now, ongoing. One with the used company, where I represented myself. Not an easy thing to do, pro se. Another piece of litigation with the Tocala company, which has gotten a permit to do seismic testing on 103,000 acres north of both the preserve, Big Cypress National Preserve, and the refuge. That one is mostly in both, it's a mixture of Collier and Hendry County. Commissioner Nance, the first time I met you, we were talking about the rural land stewardship area and Panthers in that area and that program, and you said something very interesting that stuck in my head. You said, under the current administration in Tallahassee, it's basically carte blanche. We can develop anything right now. So the county really has to have a little bit more oversight. Remember, this administration began its tenure by eliminating the Department of Community Affairs and all kinds of reviews of comprehensive plans. So it really does fall very heavily right now on county governments to draw some kind of lines. I understand the difficulty in changing legislation, but if I had 10 minutes, I could really explain, now having gone through this for a year, where the loopholes in the legislation are right now, where they need to be fixed. I'm willing to meet with you, by the way, and talk with you about these issues, things that I've discovered over a year of litigation, where I think that might be helpful. Dr. Arthur Brown, when he was chairing the Big Cypress Swamp Advisory Committee, said something else. He said, we're the finger in the dike. And that was because the Big Cypress Swamp Advisory Committee almost didn't make any recommendation whatsoever. And he said, we have to make a recommendation. This stuff is happening all over the place. Indeed, it is. And we're here dealing with one particular well, Hogan Island well. The used company has a 115,000-acre lease, including virtually all the public lands in Southwest Florida that are responsible for your massive ecotourism industry here in Collier County. This place is world famous. Look at any guide to Florida, Big Cypress National Preserve, Fakahatchee, Picayune, 10,000 islands. That's even included in they haven't leased it out yet because they don't have offshore oil drilling yet. But that's included in the Collier holdings. I can go on and on. Let me go through some of the fracking issue. I didn't really get involved in the fracking issue in my litigation, but just to give you an example of how DEP works. When I brought up the wildlife impacts, surface impacts, bringing in trucks, vibrations, lights, drilling rigs, diesel, generators, everything, they said, well, we're just geologists. We're geologists and engineers. We don't know anything about wildlife. Let's send it out for review. So the Fish and Wildlife Commission got it and said, we've reviewed the application. We have no comment. Have a nice weekend. That was the review they got from the State Fish and Wildlife Commission. Feds said, well, there's no federal case here, no jurisdictional wetlands. We have no comment. They reviewed, they permitted a project in primary habitat next to the Panther Refuge with no wildlife review whatsoever. That's an example of the kind of loophole we need to close tightly, and I will work with you in every way possible to work on that.
Thank you.